How's it? We are live right now on our live show. We're going to go about 15 minutes here. I will put, we are currently live right now. If you want to talk about any ball games tonight or tomorrow or for this weekend. All right, so go ahead and have your games ready for me. We'll talk about any games that you want to discuss here. I'll let people start coming in here. So pop in here with the games that you want to discuss for tonight or for tomorrow, and we'll get to all of those games. And sorry, I didn't do a live show last night, so I'm going to make it up and try to do a live show now for today's games. And of course, it's recorded, so you can come back and listen to it anytime. So let me make sure that you can post and comment here. Go ahead and comment for me and let me know which games that you want to talk about. And we'll start talking about those games. I want to make sure you're able to comment. I believe you should be able to comment fine. Yeah. Hey, G Man Celtics. Good to see you. Pittsburgh under. Okay. So we're talking about the Pirates here, it seems. So let me go over there. So on this Pirates game, let's see if we can get to about 5 games here. On this Pirates game, I don't think the Pirates are playing today. So this must be college football then, right? Yes. So college football. Um, so yeah, I definitely lean on the under between West Virginia and Pittsburgh today. Give me 1 second here. Let me check something real fast here. Do do do. Yeah, I definitely like the under. One of our free picks on the newsletter was actually on Pittsburgh, I believe. But I think the only way that Pittsburgh is going to do well in this game is through their defense. This is a game that we had researched before. I'm not as high on West Virginia as others might be. And Pittsburgh was actually really, really upset. They lost to Michigan State at the end of the bowl game last year, and they gave up 31 points, which is actually pretty high for them. 31 points is one of the highest totals they've had in 5 out of the last 7 games. And I think what happens here is I think the Pittsburgh strength is their defense. And I think I mean, Desmond Howard picked them as one of their final four. So, if I had to, I did the free play today on the Arizona under, but if I had to do the free play again, I'd probably do it on the Pittsburgh under, to be honest with you, meaning the Panthers in college football. So I like that under quite a bit here. So I like Pittsburgh under today. There's a couple of trends that I liked in this game too. I'll share that with you too. Don't forget the under is 5-1 for the Mountain. No, I don't like that one. The under is yes, 4-1 in the last 5 meetings for what it's worth, but also the under is 4-1 of the Panthers' last 5 games overall. I think it's a good public fade. I think the public is on West Virginia. I think they're wrong. I think Pittsburgh is going to win. They might win comfortably. And I also like the under in that game because traditionally I just like the favorite in the under anyway in general. Hey, Caples, good to see you. So let me write these down real fast. So the first one is the Pittsburgh, West Virginia under. The second one, Caples wants to know about the Red Sox. As far as the Red Sox are concerned, I think I talked about that game in one of my. Yeah, I can't talk about that game fully because that's our premium pick at Doc Sports, so I can't talk about it. But I can talk about any of the games that you want. Yeah, college football. Thank you so much. So yeah, Travis Fontaine, Ohio State, Notre Dame. Yeah, I like Ohio State in this game, and I think they're going to win, and they're going to win big. If there's any one of the coaches that really needs a big win is the Ohio State coach. Kind of a lackluster year that last year. You get a brand name team coming in here in Notre Dame. Who might not obviously they have a young coach and not many people are expecting much of them, and I think he's just going to be in the wrong spot, and I think Ohio State absolutely demolishes them, quite frankly. I think Notre Dame will get better as it goes on. But it's interesting, right? You see the number 2 team in the land, such a heavy favorite over the number 5 team in the land. Ohio State had a terrible bowl game too against Utah, where they had to come all the way back, and they were only a 4-point chalk coming into that game too. And I think Ohio State from the onset gets it going. They play well, and I remember they didn't do well in their season opener last year either. So this is an important game for them to do well, and I think Ohio State gets it done. I want you to note that the Buckeyes, for what it's worth, are 5-2 ATS in the last 7 in September as well. Moving on here. Hey Angel, good to see you. Oh, sorry. That's my timer. I have a timer set for myself as it relates to when I work. But yeah, as it relates to the Dodgers game, let's see. The Dodgers are playing against the Mets, right? 4:10 starts early between the Dodgers. So Kershaw plays here. Yeah, the Dodgers lost 1-2 yesterday against the Mets. They had won 4-3 previously. They only had 3 hits in their last game. Both games have gone under so far. The Mets had lost back-to-back games and finally bounced back as it relates to Kershaw. How do you think he's going to do against the Mets? Well, he hasn't pitched against them. He went 4-3-1 against San Fran in his last game. They're kind of watching his pitch count here. Um, Previously before that, he had gone 4-5-4 against San Fran and 8-1-0 against the Angels. As it relates to Chris Bassett here, he's got both these guys 2.64 and a 3.34 ERA. But again, it's the Dodgers that are on the bounce back, right? Bassett actually pitched against the Dodgers early this year and lost 6-5-3, 6 innings, 5 hits, and 3 runs. He's coming off a bad effort, 7 innings, 8 hits, and 4 runs, but his team ended up winning. The last 6 he's pitched, his team has won. So you got Bassett here, a little bit of a bounce back. You got Kershaw that only pitched 4 innings last game, but everybody's going to be on the under in this game anyway, which kind of makes me want to take the over. 61% is on the under, actually. So quite frankly, I think the Dodgers need to bounce back. I think the Mets offense might get to Kershaw. I actually like the over in this game. I think at some point these two teams have to bust out a little bit. So I'm actually going to give you a surprise here. I like the over between the Dodgers and the Mets today. All right. So Dodgers, Mets over. The over is, let's see. The over is 6-2 for the Dodgers when they face a pitcher with a whip of less than 1.15. I think Bassett is vulnerable. I actually like the Dodgers in general, but I'll take the over instead. But I do think the Dodgers do well only because Bassett has a revenge against the Dodgers. The over is also, the over traditionally hits for the Dodgers when they face an elite pitcher. But at the same time, Bassett has revenge, right? So that's the reason why he's only a plus 114 dog against Kershaw. But it's a good public fade, and I'll go with the over between the Dodgers and the Mets. Moving on here. I'm trying to get to about 5 games, try to keep this under 15 minutes here. Hey, Casey Next, good to see you. Would you ever lean on West Virginia with the points in the over? No. My lean is definitely Pittsburgh first and then the under second. Oakland A's. As far as the Oakland A's are concerned, let's move over here. Do I have a lean on the game already? I think I do. Oh, no, I don't have a lean. Hold on. Yeah, the A's, Oakland versus Washington. Both teams are about 40-plus wins, right? Oakland coming off that 1-5 loss. Maybe they bounce back. They were playing pretty well. They beat the Yankees 3-2, 4-1, and 10-6. 5 hits in their last game. They got out hit pretty bad. Washington hasn't had back-to-back wins in ages, and they come off a rare 5-1 win. Oakland definitely has the better pitching staff. You have Ken Waldichuk here taking his first start. It'll be interesting to see how he does. And then Paulo Espizo here. Has he pitched against Oakland this year? He has not. He comes off a 5-7-3 game against Cincinnati, and he lost 4-3-3 against San Diego, and he beat them 5-7-4. Pretty impressive, though. He went back-to-back against San Diego and only still give up 3 runs. Hard to do that, especially after a team has a full slate of effort against you. To go against them back-to-back and still only give up 3 runs is pretty good. 5-6-1 against the Cubs. 4-4-1 against the Dodgers. Interesting. I think you have a really good pitcher here in Washington. Does Washington actually win back-to-back games? You have a brand new newbie for Oakland. I'll take a shot here. I like the Washington Nationals here. I think Espizo is the better pitcher. I think it's a good public fade. I think that, it makes sense. And not to mention the A's are 2-7 in their last 9 interleague games anyway. And Washington is 4-1 in their last 5 interleague games against a team with a winning record. So not a winning record, but a team at home against a team with a losing record. So there you go. I can do one more game, maybe 1 or 2 more games. Rough loss with the Seattle. It was a bad loss. It sucked. It sucked. I wish we had won that game. And, quite honestly, I wish we, we probably should have gone with Chicago on the bounce back. I made a mistake there, but we'll bounce back. LSU versus Florida State, sure. LSU versus Florida State here in college football. Yeah, so the early lean that I had on this game was the under. I don't think LSU is going to do as much. I'm not that confident in LSU's offense, and I actually think Florida State's going to be it's going to be better this year. And you got to think, why are they only favored by 3.5? I mean, Mike Norvell finally gets another chance here to do better. They did well in their last game and they beat Duquesne, right? 47-7. And they did win against Miami and Boston College in the last 2 games. That's pretty good. I actually think Florida State can easily go in here and win outright. But Coach Kelly might have something up his sleeve, and they come off a game where they gave him 42 points in their last game. So my early leans here are either Florida State or LSU. And I think a lot is expected of Chip Kelly, but I can easily see him lose. But if I had to pick a side or a total, it's hard to say. I'll go with Florida State here too. I just think the continuum that Florida State had from last year's very dismal loss or a start, and then they get to come out here with a bang. I think they do pretty well. And I think LSU might take a moment or two to kind of get set with what Coach Kelly wants, and therefore I like Florida State there. So, all right, let's look to wrap it up here. Minnesota, I will give you my thought on Minnesota. Are you still rolling with the Escalade? I am. I still have my red Escalade. What's up, I see? Any thoughts on the Pittsburgh game? Yeah, Michael, I like Pittsburgh, and I like the under in that game. Brewers D-backs over the 7.5. The Brewers D-backs, that's actually our lean is on the under. I just did a free play video, and our lean is on the under. How many premium picks do you plan for next Saturday's? Oh, do you mean this Saturday? For this Saturday, I think we're having about 4 to 6 picks this Saturday. So we'll see. Penn State, Purdue, high IC Penn State game, Louisiana. Okay. Hey, Crash, good to see you. David, Bears game, Louisiana Tech, Missouri, Donovan Mitchell to the Cavaliers. Wow, that's big news, huh? Sports Guru, I just did Mets versus Dodgers, and I like the over in the Mets-Dodgers game. All right, so let me try to wrap this up here. Let me try. I think someone asked about the quite a few people asked about the Minnesota game real fast. Let me pop in there. Yeah, I like the under in the Minnesota game. I think Minnesota is going to be really strong this year. I've always traditionally liked the favorite in the under, and I think New Mexico State's offense is absolutely dismal. I know that New Mexico State obviously had their last game, and they scored 12 points against Nevada, but they were only a 7-point dog going in, and they only scored 12 on Nevada. I like Minnesota and New Mexico State under for tonight's game. Okay, so there you go. There's 6 plays. I probably would have done a free play on Pittsburgh. I just didn't do it, I guess. We focused on baseball kind of, but there you go. Hope you enjoy the content today. And there's your 6. And I always try to keep it at 6 so it doesn't get over the top. But again, let me recap it for you. I liked Pittsburgh, West Virginia under today. Also a small lean on Pittsburgh. I liked Ohio State, Dodgers, Mets over, Washington Nationals today, and Florida State, and Minnesota and New Mexico State under. Those are your 6 today. And yeah, if you want the explanations, just go back and watch the video, and it's all right there. Hope you guys are doing wonderful, and I will see you back here on tomorrow's daily video or maybe the live show as well. Take care.